Wanyama has a big advantage in hand speed and foot speed, Tim, but it remains to be seen whether he has the power to stop the forward thrust of James Thunder.
We had a chance to talk to both of these boxers, and of course Wanyama feels that speed will be the important thing for him if he has a chance to beat the heavyweight, and he's confident he can do it.
So it comes to boxing, you know what I'm saying? So the same game, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, as a heavyweight, I know I'll use my speed, and I'll move around.
What do you know about Wanyama?
Nothing. Nada. I don't know nothing about him. I just take the opportunity to just take the fight.
James Thunder is in the ring. He's won 8 of his last 9 fights and has proven to be a much improved heavyweight boxer, as he says himself, since coming to the United States. Born in Samoa, raised in New Zealand, turned pro in Australia. Quite an odyssey for him, but very comfortable now in Ruidoso, New Mexico, with a record of 26-5, 20 knockouts. Franco Wanyama at 15-3-2. The 29-year-old Thunder, the 27-year-old Franco Wanyama, and the height advantage by an inch to Wanyama, but the weight advantage to James Thunder came in at 221, and then today had already put on an extra 9 pounds since the weigh-in yesterday. Wanyama had gone up 5 to 195. This bout will be governed under the rules of the state of Michigan. There is a standing 8 count in effect if necessary. If a fighter goes down 3 times in a round, that means the fight is over. A bell can save the fighter only in the last round, and should there be an accidental foul that occurs before 5 rounds, they'll go to a technical draw, and after that, they'll go to the scorecards. And let's go to our ring announcer, Wally Jackson.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the State Theater in Detroit, where CBS Sports Budweiser Boxing Series continues. The judges for today's fights are Dario Chiarini from Sterling Heights, Michigan, Philip Laddiser from West Bloomfield, Michigan, and Frank Garza from Detroit. The ringside physician is Michael Sherbin from Detroit. Our referee is Monty Oswald from Bay City. And introducing first in the blue corner, weighed in at 190 pounds with a record of 15 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, and 6 wins by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, from Kampala, Uganda, here is Franco Wanyama. Wanyama. And in the red corner, weighed in a solid 221 pounds with a record of 26 wins, 5 losses, 20 wins by way of knockout. From Auckland, New Zealand, I give you James Thunder.
Gentlemen, you're both professionals. We expect your actions to be accordingly. Protect yourselves at all times. Here in Michigan, we have a 3 knockdown rule and a standing 8 count. Touch gloves now and come out at the bell.
Referee Monty Oswald with the final instructions. We have 10 rounds of boxing schedule ahead for these heavyweights. James Thunder at 221, born February 3rd in 1966 in Auckland, New Zealand, of Samoan heritage, raised in New Zealand and now a resident in New Mexico. He started as a schoolboy in boxing. There was no Olympic team in New Zealand for him, and he was hoping to be in the Olympics in 1988. So he turned pro in Australia in 1989. Has beaten J.B. Williamson, Richard Mason, Tony Tubbs, Trevor Berbick along the way to this matchup against the British Commonwealth Cruiserweight champion, Franco Wanyama, on the left of your screen in the red trunks.
And Tim, you mentioned all of the fighters that Thunder has beaten, but they've had one common opponent, and Johnny Nelson fought them a month apart. Wanyama stopped them in 10 rounds, and Thunder lost to Johnny Nelson.
Nelson came up from cruiserweight to beat Thunder at the heavyweight mark, but of course, as we have said already, Thunder's a much improved fighter since that time. Wanyama scheduled to come over to meet Tommy Hearns here this afternoon, then had his flights canceled when Hearns had to pull out of the fight, and only arrived here yesterday once he knew that his new opponent would be James Thunder. And he scores a left hook that brought the crowd alive here, the State Theater in Detroit, but Thunder keeps the pressure on and just narrowly missed a big overhand right hand. Wanyama covering up along the ropes, throwing out the jab. Lands a right hand over the top, does Wanyama.
Wanyama is going to have to get Thunder's respect. He's going to have to nail him with a couple of good punches, or Thunder's going to run right through him.
Good defensive moves by Wanyama, escaping the roundhouse right and left from Thunder, slapping him to the body. But Thunder keeps him pinned in the corner now, pouring it on to the head and body.
Wanyama's blocking most of those punches, though, Tim.
Doing a good job here of escaping most of them.
But he has to start using his hands, foot speed, Wanyama. He's got to get out of there. He's got to get off the ropes and out of the corners. That's Thunder's home territory when he has him inside.
Wanyama, 15 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws. Has not been real active the last couple of years. Only 6 knockouts, so he's not a big puncher.
Step back. Don't push his head
He
down.
says the reason he hasn't been active is because he can't get guys to fight him. They don't want to fight him.
Been based in Belgium through most of his pro career after being discovered in Uganda.
Good clean fight, guys.
Made the quarterfinals of the 1988 Olympic Games, boxing for his home country of Uganda. Started boxing as an amateur at age 12. The last fight was April of last year, 94. An 8-round draw.
Wanyama slaps with that right hand, though, Tim. He's got to land a couple of good, solid punches. And if that's all he has, Thunder's going to really be a very big problem for him.
Under 30 seconds we go in round 1. Watching him on tape, Gil, his most effective punch with power seemed to be a right uppercut, bringing that from underneath. He seems to throw that with more impact than over the top.
Yes, his straight right hand is nothing more than a slap.
Final seconds of round 1, scheduled for 10. Heavyweights, James Thunder, Franco Wanyama.
Stop!
Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy live from the State Theater in Detroit, Michigan. James Thunder in white trunks. 26-5 as a heavyweight, 20 knockouts. He is from New Zealand. Franco Wanyama in the red trunks from Uganda, now living in London, England. Thunder living in New Mexico, and Wanyama lands a right hand to the chin of Thunder, but not much impact. Again, that kind of slapping blow he gets with his right. And he lands a good left hook, however. Both these boxers very likable young men with interesting backgrounds. Good combination scored by Wanyama. That backed up Thunder for the first time in the fight.
And that's what Wanyama's going to have to do. He's going to have to get Thunder's respect. Otherwise, again, Thunder's just going to bull him around the ring, boom against the ropes and into the corners, and do a job on him. Tim, one thing I do like, though, I like Wanyama's defense when he's on the ropes. Thunder throws those wide punches, and he picks most of them off with his elbows and his forearms.
And there's a low blow, and he gets a warning to Thunder from referee Monty Oswald, and Wanyama needing some time to recover. Let's go back and take a look at it.
Take a little bit of time. We'll take a little bit of time.
They'll give him 5 minutes if he needs it, and it looks like they're going to. Let's take a look at it.
Definitely a low blow, Tim.
Below the belt of Franco Wanyama, and he's using the time he has to recover.
You okay now?
He had to pull up his pants while letting him recover, because he's going to lose them.
A little sag in the back there for Franco Wanyama. That Ugandan tribal name, Wanyama, and an Italian first name. He said that comes from a big popular music star in Zaire, and his dad liked that guy and gave Franco his name.
Tim Wanyama tried that right uppercut, his best punch a little earlier, just missed. That is his most effective punch, though. That's his power punch.
Break, step back clean, step back clean.
Under a minute to go in round 2. Thunder missed a wide left hand, and Wanyama made him pay for it with a combination, another one to the face of Thunder, but Thunder just walks through it, swinging wildly, and Wanyama fighting with confidence.
Wanyama seems to have gotten his sea legs, Tim. Getting a little more confidence as this fight goes on.
Landed a right hand to the face of Thunder, and there's the right uppercut scoring. Under 30 seconds we go in the second round, and a wild right. Wanyama ducked under that easily.
Wanyama showing very good reflexes and good defense. Thunder is throwing those thunderous punches, but so far they're just hitting nothing but air.
There's a right hand to the ear of Wanyama. Final seconds of round 2. So a good round for Franco Wanyama.
When learning
Round number 3 live from the State Theater in Detroit, Michigan. Tim Ryan with Joe Clancy, Pat O'Brien on the CBS Sports Show, and Thunder lands a right hand to open this 3rd round. Thunder in white, Wanyama in red.
But again, Tim, we mentioned despite the fact that Thunder has those big muscles, he really doesn't have to snap, not the knockout punch with one punch.
Now there's a big right hand by Thunder.
And there's Wanyama still standing there. But again, he's being outstrengthed by the much bigger James Thunder at the moment.
Remember, Wanyama 195, a cruiserweight. Thunder at 221. Down from his recent weights by 4 or 5 pounds. He's just in great shape.
Nice combination.
Oh, down goes Thunder.
Down goes Thunder.
A right hand from Wanyama, bringing up that right uppercut. Well, that's a confidence builder for sure. That's his best punch, and he sent Thunder to the canvas here in round 3.
And before that punch, Tim, he started to land some real significant punches to Jimmy Thunder. And there's that right hand uppercut again.
You can see Wanyama wanting to set himself up. There it is again. He's really
And he
swings
just
that.
got nailed by a right hand counter by Thunder.
Thunder missing with a right hand, but he did get Wanyama's attention with that right counter. Great action here in the 3rd. A knockdown by the smaller Wanyama. And he lands a left hook. Trying the right hand. He's overworking that now. He gets that Kid Gavilan style power in that. Almost a bolo punch. Made famous by the Cuban champion. 2 misses by Thunder.
Again, we mentioned the speed bothers a guy like James Thunder. And that's what
Right hand
Wanyama's
scored by
taking advantage
Wanyama.
of. Another nice combination by Wanyama.
Under a minute to go in round number 3. Combination scored by Wanyama. That jarred the mouthpiece loose. Thunder staying at third. Another right hand over the top. Out comes the mouthpiece. He's got Thunder in some trouble. The uppercut missed by Wanyama, just grazing the chin of Thunder. Wanyama fighting bravely and with confidence fires that uppercut again. Thunder leans in on him and bangs to the body.
Stop time. Over here.
Time call to get the mouthpiece now.
Come over here.
Referee waiting for a break in the action, and this is going to help Jimmy Thunder for sure.
Wanyama has expended a lot of energy, Tim. Looks a little tired himself, standing in that corner.
Franco, you ready? Come on.
Boxing resumes here in the 3rd round. Wanyama has already knocked Thunder down here in the 3rd.
And punished him quite often, Tim, besides the knockdown. A lot of punishing punches by Wanyama. He has Thunder's respect now.
Franco Wanyama, the British Commonwealth Cruiserweight champion, fighting a much bigger man than he's used to facing.
Break, step back, please.
So there's James Thunder in his corner, getting attention from Carlos Medina, his trainer. Ron Weathers, his manager.
Walking straight to him. Stay sideways and slow down.
Got him knocked.
You gotta step to him with a jab.
Got a jab, huh? Just jab. Relax.
He just punches it and offset. Just slow down. Good grip.
Let's take a look at this action. Here you can see Thunder again missing that wide punch. And there's that uppercut, Tim. We said it was his best punch. Clean on the button. Take the overhead look now. Again, Wanyama makes him miss, which he has been doing all fight long, and makes him pay.
This was later in the round, and he landed again here with another uppercut. So a good round for Franco Wanyama. His last fight in April of 1994. And here he is against James Thunder, one of the rising heavyweights. He's knocked him down here in round 3.
Clean fight, guys.
And you can see the strength of Wanyama then, Tim. You see him move a big, strong guy like Thunder back.
Remember, if you just joined us and perhaps were expecting to see Tommy Hearns, he had to pull out after being hurt in training earlier this week. A rib injury, and Thunder replaced him on very short notice. But Thunder trains 7-8 hours a day in New Mexico, is always in great shape. Happy to fill in, but now I'm sure he's not as happy having been knocked down in the third by this cruiserweight Wanyama. There's an overhand right. Wanyama, of course, was preparing for Thomas Hearns. That would have been the biggest fight of his career, and he was in tears in England when he heard that Hearns had pulled out. He was so much looking forward to an opportunity to fight the great Tommy Hearns. But here he is against James Thunder, having arrived just yesterday from London via Boston.
Wanyama just seems so much faster and so much slicker than James Thunder up to this point in the fight. Thunder's going to have to get on the inside and really start using that strength and banging with both hands. There's that uppercut, Tim. That is a dangerous punch. Especially against a wide puncher like James Thunder.
As we mentioned, Wanyama has not beaten anybody of any note. He was stopped by two pretty strong Europeans, Norbert Ekasi and John Emmen, in two of his 3 losses. He's not beaten anybody that you would recognize. He's looking for his opportunity against the famous Thomas Hearns. And here he is against James Thunder, and the strong young heavyweights on the scene.
Just that little motion by Wanyama side to side is puzzling James Thunder. Just can't seem to get off.
Right hand over the top, scored by Thunder, but didn't do any damage.
Most of these punches, Tim, are either blocked or partially blocked, because Thunder is just punching too wide.
Under 30 to go. In round number 4, Wanyama missed the uppercut that time, but Thunder failed to make him pay. He got a piece of him there with that one. Now a little better head movement here from Thunder.
But Wanyama continues to counter with that right uppercut every time Thunder misses.
Final seconds of round number 4. Franco Wanyama from Uganda and London. James Thunder from New Zealand and Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Stop.
Take the heat out of it.
Thomas Hearns is in attendance today at this fight in his hometown of Detroit, Michigan. 7-time world champion says that he will be back in action. Came over to apologize for pulling out of this fight. He felt badly about not fighting on CBS today, and said that he intends to carry on with his career, and that we should expect to see him sometime soon back in the ring.
And Wanyama is using a little more side-to-side movement now, Tim, trying to puzzle James Thunder.
A lot of heavy breathing by Franco Wanyama between rounds. Gil, as you pointed out early in the 4th, he has expended a lot of energy with this very relentless attack on the bigger Thunder, so we'll see how the long air travel, the interruption to his schedule, etc., whether it takes its toll or not.
He really has everything against him, Tim. The time change, the traveling 2 days before the fight, the weight advantage for Thunder, but he's a clever fighter. Again, there he goes, nailing Thunder again. You can see him feinting, throwing nice combinations, and Thunder again with those big, wide, ponderous punches, hitting nothing but air. The one thing that Wanyama should not do is try to jab and get out of the way at the same time. He has to follow through with that jab and move Thunder back with the punch.
Thunder banging to the body, landed.
Good right hand by Thunder.
Right hand over the top, right behind the body blows. Wanyama trying to land that uppercut again. Hasn't had the same accuracy here in the 5th round. We have Franco Wanyama ahead 3 rounds to 1, but 2 of them, rounds 2 and 4, were quite close. The judges could see those for Thunder. Of course, he has the knockdown going for him, does Wanyama, in round 3.
Tim, you know, a lot depends on what the judges like. Some judges like guys that are aggressive the way Thunder has been, throwing a lot of punches, even though they haven't been effective. There's another big miss by Thunder, but he's coming forward, and he's really making the fight. I think Wanyama should be a little bit more offensive-minded. But again, Thunder can't seem to hit him in the rear end, Tim.
Push him down, Jimmy.
Is that similar to the side of the barn door you might use?
Yes.
Landed it right to the top of his head.
Again, Wanyama, not enough offense at the moment.
The 30 seconds we are in the 5th round here, scheduled for 10. Heavyweight Thunder fainted, but he didn't throw a punch behind it. Pretty much abandoned his jab, which has become much more effective with it. Wanyama dives in and lands a right hand. Final seconds of the 5th round.
Break, step back, please.
Action in round 6, scheduled for 10 live on the CBS Sports Show. Tim Ryan with Gil Clancy and Pat O'Brien in Detroit, Michigan. James Thunder in white, Franco Wanyama in red. He is a cruiserweight. Came in at the 190 cruiserweight limit yesterday. He's up to 195 today. Thunder at 221 yesterday and 230 today. A much bigger man, but he's had trouble finding Franco Wanyama, and Wanyama has scored the only knockdown. It came in the 3rd.
Wanyama, despite the fact that he hasn't had that many professional fights, Tim, has much more experience. He was in the Olympics. He was an African champion. Good amateur background.
Made the quarterfinals of the Olympic Games in 1988. And that's when Thunder hoped to be on a New Zealand Olympic team, but they didn't have a boxing squad. So he turned pro in '89.
Now Thunder is trying to use his strength. He's pushing Wanyama, but still he just can't seem to land a good, solid blow. And anytime Wanyama wants to attack, he does score.
Wanyama has not shown any intimidation at all. The bigger Thunder doesn't seem to have bothered him. He's able to use his feet and his good body movement to avoid most of those roundhouse shots. Here's an uppercut try by Thunder, and again Wanyama picked it off.
You think he learned that from Wanyama?
Well, he's taken a few of them for sure, including the knockdown blow.
Wanyama's concentration looks very, very good, Tim.
Absolutely excellent. Just missed the right uppercut again.
But you know, that gives Thunder something to think about, Tim. A little careful about moving in.
And with left to the body, followed with a slapping right to the chin.
You know, Tim, that right hand doesn't look like anything, but every time he hits Thunder with it, seems to put him in distress.
Wanyama has picked up his tempo here in the 6th round after resting some in the 5th. He scored round 5 close for Thunder.
Again, you can see Wanyama's hand up, blocking that punch, that clubbing punch of Thunder's.
No holding, Jimmy. Work out of there.
Thunder in his recent fights hasn't seen anybody with this kind of mobility and hand speed.
Well, that's what we had mentioned. That's what bothers James Thunder. Speed. Hand speed and foot speed.
Another 30 seconds in round 6. His last 4 fights, Tubbs and Burbick, 2 aging heavyweights who were standing right in front of him. Daniel Dancuda, not a speed merchant. And then Bomani Parker, whom he stopped in 1 in his last outing. Final seconds of round number 6. Another uppercut scored by Wanyama. Round number 7, scheduled for 10 heavyweights, live from Detroit, Michigan. James Thunder in white, Franco Wanyama in the red trunks with a white stripe. We have Wanyama ahead here as we go into the 7th round. Thunder, much bigger of the two, a true heavyweight. Wanyama, a cruiserweight, who came in at 190 yesterday, put on 5 pounds since then. But Thunder in the ring at about 230.
Timmy just can't not seem to catch Wanyama with a good clean punch. Wanyama, very good defense, very good hand movement, very good foot movement. I just think that he could really take over this fight, Wanyama, if he was a little more aggressive, a little more offensive minded.
A little skip back there, avoiding the left hook from Thunder. With good, quick hands and very good eyes. He's been able to frustrate Thunder, and he lands the right hand
by Wanyama.
Perfectly timed counter. Sticks kicks out the jab, lands that.
Very slick the way he gets that right uppercut in there, too, Tim. He whips it in very quick.
And to the left, catching Thunder coming in again.
And the chopping right. Again, that right hand looks like a slap, but it seems to have an effect every time it lands on Jimmy Thunder. Another miss by Thunder.
Right to the body, that hurt Wanyama.
Low blow till you could hear it. You could hear it hit the cup without seeing it.
They're giving him a standing 8 count here, so the referee isn't calling that.
I'd like to see a replay of that, Tim. I heard the cup.
Okay, they did give him the count, but he did see the low blow and is giving him the rest break. Second one required.
Well, why would he count?
I don't know why he was counting. Started to count.
You got 5
reached
minutes.
10.
Okay.
Then he gave him the timeout.
What? How do you feel? You all ready to go?
It definitely hurt him. There it is, below
right
the belt.
under the cup. That's the worst way to get hit with a low blow, Tim, because it lifts the cup up, and it really hurts you a lot. I'm surprised that the referee counted.
Tim, you got to keep him up.
Now he's telling him to keep him up. I mean, what's poor Wanyama have to do?
So Wanyama has taken at least some of that 5 minutes. He's now saying to the referee that he's ready to go. He can, of course, resume any time within that 5 minutes. And the bell sounds, ending round number 7. Now we're in the corner of Franco Wanyama. His handlers, Mick Williamson, his manager, is trainer Neville Axel.
Get some pressure off him when you win this fight. They love you. You're going to win this fucking fight. Got his mouth, please. Got it. You're bigger, stronger, quicker, everything. Come on. You got more speed than he has.
Right upper and the foot. Can't jab.
You try too hard, just be smooth. You're trying too hard. Right now.
Ron Weather saying you're trying too hard, just be smooth. Let's go back and see that knockdown in the 3rd round. This was scored by Wanyama with that right uppercut, catching a wide open Thunder right on the chin.
Seconds down.
Sending him down.
Seconds down.
This is scheduled for 10 rounds. Round number 8 upcoming.
Stop the time.
Well, let's see if that low blow took anything out of Wanyama at the moment.
That's the second in which he has required a time break to recover from, but I think probably done more just to give him a little bit of breather. He was flagging at the end of round 4 and has come on well since then. We have Wanyama ahead here into the 8th round. 4 rounds to 2, including the knockdown round 3, but 2 of those we've scored close. Judges may see those for Thunder.
Step back clean.
Make that 5 rounds to 2 for Wanyama on our scorecard. We're into the 8th round.
Again, Thunder is throwing a lot of punches, and the judges may give him credit for that, but he's supposed to land the punches to get credit.
Break. Step back.
And he has been the aggressor. There's no question about that.
Work out of there. Break. Come on, work out of there now, guys.
Uppercut by Thunder, but again, partially blocked by Wanyama, and then he picked out the right over the top.
Tim, he blocks those punches beautifully. But again, you have to really watch.
Watch yourself.
Wanyama's going to have to do something, though, to catch the eye of the judges, because he's not showing much. That was a good right hand. Not showing much offense at all.
Not in this round, for sure.
But just as I said, there it is again.
Yeah, a left and a right. Both scored.
And there's the uppercut.
Under a minute to go in the 8th. Thunder landing to the body. Wanyama covers up, holds on that time.
James Thunder's starting to bounce on those legs now, Tim. Starting to feel a little good.
Step back. Step back clean.
30 seconds left in the 8th.
When Wanyama makes Thunder miss like that, he has to counter, Tim. Has to score points.
Work out of there.
Thunder continues to keep up the pace. Not much of an offensive round for Franco Wanyama here in the 8th as we're into the final 10 seconds. Apart from that one good combination, there's a jab that lands. Round number 9 scheduled for 10 heavyweights. James Thunder in white, Franco Wanyama in red. He's a true cruiserweight. Expecting to fight Tommy Hearns here today. Instead is in against James Thunder, a heavyweight who jumped into the fray when given the opportunity. Been training mightily in New Mexico and is in excellent condition.
Wanyama is not stiffening up that jab at all, Tim. You can't jab and get out of the way at the same time.
Thunder lands to the body, but Wanyama scores a left-right combination at the extent of his reach. Didn't do much damage there. The better snapping left jab that scored. And Wanyama picking up his pace here in the 9th.
He's bouncing a little bit now. And again.
Oh, a vicious left miss by Thunder.
It's amazing that Wanyama must really got sharp vision because he really can avoid those punches, those wide punches.
He's been picking them up very well.
Break, let him out of there.
And again, Tim, not much offense from Wanyama. That's what makes this a close fight because to Thunder's credit, he's making the fight, trying to force the fight. Despite the fact that he hasn't landed too many clean punches. Again, he just missed then, but he is forcing the fight. And Wanyama is not really doing anything to let you know that he won a round cleanly.
Well, with that in mind, I've still only scored 3 for Thunder, despite him forcing the pace. But you would correctly point out the judges may see that kind of aggression differently. Wanyama, we have 5 rounds to 3, and he has a knockdown round in the 3rd.
Again, for Wanyama to win this fight, I think he has to do something else besides that knockdown to catch the judge's eye offensively. Again, he had Thunder miss, but he did not counter.
And again, right there in the last exchange, well, he started this round offensively, but he has slacked off since the opening 30-40 seconds. We're under a minute in round 9.
There's that vicious uppercut again.
Break, break, step back, no horn, clean break.
Under 30 seconds we go in the 9th.
Work out of there, guys. No holding.
The pace should be wearing on Wanyama, who just arrived from London yesterday. The smaller man of the 2. Thunder in outstanding shape. But Wanyama still seems as though he's very much alive here. And we head into the Thunder corner now. On our card, Joe, we've got Wanyama ahead here, 6 rounds to 3.
Well, Tim, I would have to say if I was judging the fight that Thunder would need a knockout to win the fight. I think he's a little too far behind. But Wanyama has been winning the rounds, but not in spectacular fashion. Depends on beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, I think somebody once told me.
Very good, Joe. Very good. I'm sure the judges have that exactly in mind. Looking at the beauty of these lads. We'll see what happens in the 10th round.
Move around, move around. Move around. Keep moving, Watch the line. Come out like maniac. You better go.
Well, you can see in the Wanyama corner, trainer Neville Axorp telling him to move around, so he's not expecting him to go out there and really pour on the coal. This is round number 10, the final round of this 10-round heavyweight bout. James Thunder in white, Franco Wanyama in red. Wanyama coming over here to Detroit, Michigan, expecting to fight Tommy Hearns. That fight called off the middle of this past week. He waited at home, got the word he'd be in against James Thunder, and he came ahead and has acquitted himself awfully well, no matter what the result given by the judges here today. And we have Wanyama ahead on our card.
Let him out, let him out. Break.
Third round knockdown, the only one of the fights scored by Wanyama with a right uppercut. Thunder scoring to the body, and
Big left hook.
Good attention there. Just missed the uppercut and landed the left hook. So Wanyama picks up his tempo here in the 10th. And the crowd here in the State Theater going with him here. They're on their feet. They like this display by the smaller man.
So clever, Tim. So difficult to hit.
Clean break.
Most of his pro career fought in Belgium, where he moved from Uganda, now in London, England.
Nice move by Wanyama. Slipped over to the right and landed a chopping right hand. Now the left hook by Wanyama.
And another left jab, catching Thunder coming in. Thunder a little more desperate here, winging. Wanyama forced into the ropes, but ties up Thunder. There's a little nick under the left eye of James Thunder. Nothing serious, but showing that Wanyama has been scoring to the face of James Thunder. Overhand right, landed from Thunder. And Wanyama now resting over there. Thunder trying to find an opening, but that elusive Wanyama ducked most of them and then landed the uppercut again. I think your term clever is just perfect for this Franco Wanyama. We're in the final minute of the fight. There's the uppercut again. Wanyama had that little rest, and now he pours it on.
I think he's caught the fancy of the public, Tim.
He certainly has. This crowd on its feet here watching this action. Franco Wanyama caught Thunder again.
Hurt Thunder with that uppercut, Tim.
Yes,
he has in trouble again.
Thunder gamely trying to punch back, and now leaning on Wanyama.
One thing you can't take away from Thunder, though, he is game. But he's been hurt in this round. No question about it.
Coming to the final seconds of the fight. We would see it for Wanyama. We'll find out if the judges see it the same way. Good finish for Franco Wanyama in the final seconds of the fight. So we'll be back with the decision here at the State Theater in Detroit in just a moment. Live in Detroit, let's go to our ring announcer, Wally Jackson.
And here's the scoring as seen by our judges. Dario Scherini scored it 95-94. Philip Ladisker scored it 95-94. Frank Garza scored it 96-93 to the winner, James Thunder.
A split decision for Jimmy Thunder. Try and get both fighters in here. See if we can get Franco Wanyama over here as well. Jimmy, congratulations. I got to tell you something, Jimmy. Gil Clancy and I scored this fight for Franco Wanyama, but we did make the disclaimer that because you were the aggressive fighter trying to make the fight most of the way, the judges might score it for you. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, with Mike Tyson coming back, the aggressive fighter is the one that takes the fight because he makes the fight, or else you'd be just dancing all night and no action. I wanted to give the people some action, and I had to bring the best out of Franco, and he did it.
Well, he sure did do it. What about that knockdown in round number 3?
Well, you know, it's just caught me by surprise, but I've been hit with work better.
He just caught him off balance, Timmy, all that happened.
Just off balance.
And if you see the punch stats, he threw 7 or 8 punches to the other guy's one.
All right.
It wasn't that close.
I stay busy.
That was Ron Weathers, manager of Thunder, contributing to the interview. But you saw the knockdown scored by a right uppercut that just kind of caught you leaning in.
Yeah, that was a good right uppercut. Well, you know, that's uppercuts that caught me unexpected, and their unexpected uppercuts are the ones that count.
Well, we were hoping to get Franco Wanyama, but he's obviously disappointed, has already left the ring. Now, James Thunder, regardless of how the fight went, you won it, and you continue to be undefeated in your last 9 now. What are your thoughts for the next fight? Jumping into this one the way you did obviously shows your great conditioning and your confidence.
Yeah, well, you know, they just called me last week, so I took the fight unexpectedly, and this is what happens. But
he fights anybody, anywhere, anytime.
All right, his manager says he fights anybody, anytime. I think I've heard that before from managers. Good luck to you, James Thunder.
To Nick at Michelinas. Where does what's up?
All right, James Thunder is the winner here in Detroit today. An exciting heavyweight battle. Franco Wanyama, a game effort, but the loser today. Let's go back to Pat O'Brien.